Shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kadash, Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and salutations to the Akim out there, spreading this truth like wildfire in all truthfulness and sincerity. And in all sincerity. And shalom to the rest of the hopeful elect out there. This video is gonna be about this new bill that they're proposing in the Oklahoma state legislature. That basically, I'm gonna pull it up. Oklahoma bill could label Hispanic, so-called Hispanic gangs as terrorists in effort to curb fentanyl smuggling. Amid the controversies surrounding a proposed bill targeting furries, quote unquote, in Oklahoma schools, another bill from the same author, Representative Justin Humphrey, Republican Lane, is sparking debate. The bill, House Bill 3133, would classify gang members of so-called Hispanic descent in Oklahoma as terrorists. Humphrey says the goal of the bill is to curb fentanyl smuggling and overdoses. What is House Bill 3133? House Bill 3133 states that Oklahomans of... Let me mute this shit real quick. States that Oklahomans of Hispanic, so-called Hispanic descent, members of a criminal street gang, and have been convicted of gang-related offenses as having committed an act of terrorism. Humphrey said the reason he authored the bill is that specifically targets his so-called Hispanic gang members is because the amount of fentanyl that's being brought from Mexico into the United States. Quote unquote, when we look at the Mexican cartels, these Mexican cartels are mainly derived from Hispanic, so-called Hispanic gang members. And it's so-called Mexican cartels. Humphrey said, because you Mexicans, y'all of the tribe of Issachar. Humphrey said, quote unquote, it's not a racial thing to say that, it's just a matter of fact. According to the Drug Enforcement Administration, China and Mexico are the primary source countries for fentanyl trafficked directly into the U.S. Humphrey said that why don't they label Chinese gang members now? Why don't they label Chinese people as terrorists, not just Hispanics, so-called Hispanics? You know, it's because Esau, he's the accuser, and he's trying to accuse you Northern Kingdom Israelites of being terrorists. You know, it's targeted towards the Northern Kingdom. And Humphrey said he's agreed to change the language in the bill to target undocumented gang members, not just Hispanic people. Quote unquote, it's not because it was a racial issue, but because there are some other undocumented nationalities that are committing crimes and committing havoc in our state. And I think it would make the bill a better bill, quote unquote, Humphrey said. More like it's because he got caught. But who's bringing fentanyl into the U.S.? The new language in Humphrey's bill will target undocumented people, but the majority of fentanyl trafficking offenders are U.S. citizens. And also, back in 2019, a brother brought it out, Yashralo, Micah, Yaba, Micah, something like that, servant of the Lord. Brother brought it out that back in 2019, the Trump administration actually bought a whole bunch of fentanyl. You know, where did it go? Once they bought it, who knows, right? But they could have put it in the communities, you know. And then after that, you had a huge fentanyl outbreak. Matter of fact, let me look that up. Let me see if I can find it. If not, I'm not going to go into it. Alright. Couldn't find it. Um, I don't know. But you could check out his channel. You know, Yasharala, Micah, Yalba, something like that. Servant of the Lord. Matter of fact, I'll go to my YouTube. I'll show it to you. Better that. It's better that I show it to you. This Yasharala Makayalab, servant of the Lord, and White House medical units mass order of fentanyl in this video. Draft Neuralink, MLTB update, you know, etc. It's in this video right here. But yeah, look up Yashrala Micah Yalaba, servant of the Lord. You'll find it. But anyways, back to the article. The new language in Humphrey's bill would target undocumented people, but the majority of fentanyl trafficking offenders are U.S. citizens. In fiscal year 2023, 26,700 pounds of fentanyl were seized at the southern border. Of that, nearly 90% were seized at ports of entry, mostly at vehicle checkpoints. In terms of individual encounters with people smuggling fentanyl, 73.1% were U.S. citizens. In fiscal year 2022, 88% of fentanyl trafficking offenders were U.S. citizens, and in 2021, 86% of fentanyl, Salakia, I keep mispronouncing that word, but it's fentanyl trafficking convictions were U.S. citizens. Humphrey said he wanted to alter the bill now because of high rates of overdoses in the U.S. He also says he believes that people smuggling in fentanyl into the U.S. are committing acts of terrorism. Well, Esau fucking set it up, bro. Esau set it up at the top, you know. And you can watch that video. It kind of shows you, you know, before 2019, it wasn't really big like that, you know. The fentanyl crisis. I mean, I'm sure you had people using it, but it didn't blossom into the crisis that it was till after 2019. So I'd recommend that video. But in 2023, the overdose death rate in the United States toppled 112,000 in a 12-month period, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. There are chemical weapons being carried out against the United States and against Oklahoma, quote unquote. Humphrey said, "It's time that, quote unquote, it's time that we called it out, and it's not racist to say that." Of course, they're gonna deny it, because. But why not? Why say so-called Hispanic? You know what I'm saying? Why say that? Why put down? Why specific specific some? Why be that fucking specific? Put so-called Hispanic. You know. But it is what it is with these devils, man. They gonna show their horns. How are people reacting to House Bill 3133 on social media? The National Hispanic Caucus of State Legislators called the bill "quote unquote" racist and unconstitutional. Grossly racist and unconstitutional. So-called white supremacist elected officials, really Edomite supremacists, elected officials like J.J. Humphrey have no place in government. He should resign or be ousted. "Quote unquote" OK Ledge. On the newly introduced "quote unquote" Oklahoma HB 3133 by Rep. J.J. Humphrey, any person who is a member of a street gang and convicted of gang related offenses would be labeled as a terrorist, but only if that person is of Hispanic descent, so-called Hispanic descent. Yep. Representative Arturo, and it says right there, you can see it. Any person who, one, is of Hispanic descent living within the state of Oklahoma, two, is a member of a criminal street gang, as such term is defined in subsection F of section 856 of Title 21 of the Oklahoma statutes, and three, has been convicted of a gang-related offense enumerated in paragraphs 1 through 16 of subsection F 856 of Title 21 of the Oklahoma statutes. Representative Arthur Alonso Sandoval, D. Democrat, Oklahoma City, who represents the Hispanic enclave of OKC, called the bill discriminatory, quote unquote. Instead of discriminatory laws, our energy and resources should be focused into equitable opportunities for so-called Hispanic children, guaranteeing that they have the necessary tools to succeed and thrive, quote unquote. Alonso Saldivar later told the Oklahoman in response to HB 3133. But these Edomite devils, they don't really give a fuck about your tribes. I mean, they pretend. It is both sides of the aisle. They pretend to give a fuck about your tribes, but when they have the opportunity, they show their horns. And this is what they're doing. He said, the proposed bill is not just misguided, it's discriminatory. Being of so-called Hispanic descent does not equate to criminal activity. Targeting the whole community with the threat of being labeled as terrorists based on ethnicity is a step backward. This is not what our state stands for. Well, it may not be what you stand for, but it is what they stand for. It's what these Edomites that run Oklahoma and other parts of Babylon and really the world, that's what they stand for. Humphrey said his bill is not racist, and those calling it racist are the problem. Then it was what they do. They play semantics games. "Quote unquote," what's wrong with being Hispanic? What's the big deal about being Hispanic? "Quote unquote," Humphrey said. "I would be proud if I'm Hispanic. I don't even know what I am or what culture I am. I'm a mixed breed." Well, you're probably an Edomite, so-called white man, based on who your father is. And let me get let me get let me get that real quick. Numbers 1 and 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward by their poll. Showing that it goes by your father's seed line. And also, you show that that bill that you authors show that you're an Edomite, showing that hatred. Perpetual hatred. Ezekiel 35 and 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, and the time that their iniquity had it in. So you have a perpetual hatred towards the children of Israel, towards so-called black people, Latinos, and Native Americans, and as well as you Israelite foreigners being like unto the speckled bird. Can't forget y'all. Got a special hatred towards the children of Israel. In your past life, you probably shed the blood. You probably was one of them, shedding the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, the force in the time that their iniquity had to end. Esau has that perpetual hatred. Kept. Let me look this up. His anger forever. Amos 1 and 11. For 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and kept his wrath forever. Verse 12, but I will send a fire upon Teman, which shall devour the palaces of Basra. And also let me get Isaiah 10 and 1 down to 2. Woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees, and write grievousness which they have prescribed. Verse 2, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. Yeah, so they could take their property, man. Like some dude brought out on my Facebook, so they could take their property. Yeah, it says gang members, but they're singling out so-called Latino gang members. They're singling out so-called Latino gang members, or Hispanic, so-called Hispanic gang members, saying you northern tribes, y'all are the problem, blaming y'all for the fentanyl, for the fentanyl epidemic, man. Revelation 12 and 10. I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now has come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our power, Yahweh, and the power of his Mashiach, Yahweh Shai. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accuse them before our power, Yahweh, day and night. And this is what they do, these elites. They accuse our people before the Most High power Yahweh, but it shows you, Esau has that accusing spirit towards our people, man. Accusing our people of this fentanyl outbreak. You know, this fentanyl, this fentanyl demic. You know, for example. You know, and if this law gets passed, you know, Esau, you know, he gonna enforce it, and hey, you know, he's gonna be coming down with great wrath upon you northern tribes. You northern tribes are gonna get your nigga wake up call. You northern tribes, you so-called Latinos and Native Americans. Well, it's Latinos this time, so it's not really applying to Native Americans, but y'all are Israelites too. But so-called Latinos slash Hispanics, you know, you're gonna learn that hey, y'all are niggas too, man. To the so-called white man, y'all are niggas too. You know, y'all ain't seen as so-called white. You know, y'all not that, man. Y'all are not Edomites. Y'all are Israelites. Y'all gonna find out, man. And this is what it's gonna take to wake y'all. Like shit like this is what it's gonna take for y'all to wake the fuck up. Shit like this. There's a lot of y'all. You know, you have Northern Kingdom brothers in the camps, of course, right? But a lot of y'all are comatose, man. Not just asleep. A lot of y'all are comatose. A lot of y'all think you're so-called white just because you're a little lighter skinned than so-called black people. A lot of y'all, man. And some of y'all are Edomites, but most of y'all are not. You know, most of y'all are Northern Kingdom of Israel. You're gonna find out. You know, watch this law get passed. Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Verse 13. When the dragon saw that he was cast to the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man child. You know, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man child, and that woman is Israel. That woman represents Israel. Israel has been getting compared to a woman, you know. This is an example of that. And this is another one. Jeremiah 2:6. I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. The daughter of Zion is talking about Yasharallah. As as you read down, the shepherds with their flocks shall come to her unto her. They shall pitch their tents against her round about. They shall feed everyone in his place. Verse 4. Prepare ye war against her, and let arise and let us go up at noon. Woe unto us, for the day goeth away, for the shadows are of the evening are stretched out. Verse 5. Arise and let us go by night, and let us destroy her palaces. Verse 6. For thus saith Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai of hosts. Thus had Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai of hosts said, how ye hew ye Salakia, I thought it was how hew ye down trees and cast them out against Jerusalem. This is the city to be visited. She is wholly oppression in the midst of her. You know, Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. But let me think if there's anything else to bring out. You Northern Kingdom, y'all gonna get y'all's wake up call, man. And paving the way for this to happen. Isaiah 11 and 13. The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. And it's starting with the elect. It's starting with the elect. But 2/3 of you so-called black people, Latinos, and Native Americans, you're going to realize that y'all have a common enemy. And going to link up in these last days. But, yeah, man. Hey, y'all, it's about to get real over there in Oklahoma. They passing law targeting y'all straight up. Northern Kingdom. It says for gang members right now, but how that racial profiling go, You know how it go. Well, Judah knows about it more. But the Northern Kingdom, that haven't really experienced that. Y'all about to experience that in a big way. This should pass. And it could pass. It could pass. There's a very good chance of passing. But and also something else I want to show y'all. Nah, not that. I'll show y'all this. It hasn't been changed. Cause I opened this today on the 31st, and it hasn't been changed. Still says any person who is of Hispanic descent living within the state of Oklahoma, 2 is a member of a criminal street gang, such term is defined in subsection F of the Oklahoma statute, Title 21 of the Oklahoma statutes, and 3 has been convicted of a gang-related offense enumerated in paragraphs 1 through 16 of subsection F of section 856 of Title 1 of the Oklahoma statutes, shall be deemed to have committed an act of terrorism of such term. So it says the same thing. And such as term as such term. Couldn't really see what it said. As such term is defined in section 1266, 68 actually, 68. Point 1 of Title 21 of the Oklahoma statutes. Any and all property, including real estate and personal property conveyances, including aircrafts, vehicles, or monies, coins and currencies, or other instrumentality used or intended to be used in any manner or part by said person, shall be subject to forfeiture as provided in section 1738 of Title 21 of the Oklahoma statutes. Section 2, this act shall become effective November 1, 2024. So watch out, November 1st, 2024. If this country is still intact, if it's still, in one piece, by November 1st, 2024, this law will be in place. So, yeah. These devils, man, they about to come down with great wrath. And y'all about to get y'all's nigga wake up call. And the envy also of Ephraim, Isaiah 11:13, envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. But with that, I hope this video was edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim out there spreading this truth like wildfire in all truthfulness and in all sincerity. And shalom to the rest of the hopeful elect out there. Shalom, stay strong. Ababa Ball, death to Babylon. Abada Adwamium, death to these other nations. Well, death to these Edomites. Abala Gawayim, death to these other nations. Abala Ayabyam Nawa, death to our enemies, the rest of our enemies being 2/3 of you so-called black people, Latinos, Native Americans, and Israelite foreigners being like unto the speckled bird, looking like the other nations, but you really Israelites. 2/3 of y'all here in Babylon, here in this land, y'all are in the land of our captivity. Y'all are going to be cut off as well. Thus saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And he's going to bring it about for the record, Esau. And hey, also death is also coming to you wicked ass Israelites scattered to the four corners of the earth. Shalom, hey, who won't repent. Shalom, stay strong. Ababa Ball, Wa, Yasharala forever. Shalom.